Hello all, welcome to Selenium session. In this session, I'm going to discuss about Selenium Grid. So Selenium Grid is, in a single word, Selenium Grid is useful for executing your test cases in parallel. Okay? So we'll see in detail what is Selenium Grid, how to set up Selenium Grid, how to write a sample programs and how to execute them. Okay. So this is a official Selenium Grid documentation. If you want more information about this, you can just go through this. But I'll tell you what are the different uh, things required in order to do a setup. So let me open the notepad. Okay, first, let me write what is Selenium Grid name. Selenium. Basically, Selenium Grid is a proxy server that allows us to route and remote web browser instance. So this is what Selenium Grid means. With Selenium Grid, so what we can do is one server acts as the hub. One of the server acts as a hub that routes JSON formatted test commands, one or more registered grid nodes. And if you see here, we came to two different terms, two new terms, that is hub and a grid. Sorry, hub and nodes. So first we'll see what is hub and what is node. Okay. So first let me show you. I'll tell you the definitions. First, what is hub and what is node. Later, we'll see how to set up a hub and how to set up a node. Basically, the hub is nothing but where the execution is started. The hub is the central point where you load your test info. Okay, and controlling of execution will be done from the hub. The hub is launched only on a single machine. Like that is nothing but the server which we are talking about. The machine containing the hub is where the test will run. The control will be from there. Okay. Let me just write this. Controlling of execution will be done from hub. So that is called the hub. Okay. The hub is launched only on a single machine. Okay. And if you go to nodes, what is nodes mean? Nodes are Selenium instances that will execute the test that you loaded on the hub. Nodes are Selenium instance that will execute test you loaded on the hub. Basically, you can have n number of nodes, but hub will be only one. Okay. So, so these are the two new things we learn now. What is hub and what is nodes. And if you see, let me show you one. Yeah, this image. If you see here, this is your hub. That is where your code is available. It might be your Java code, Selenium Java code, Selenium C#, whatever it is. And these are the nodes. Nodes might be different browsers, like it might be a different machine. Let's say I have three Windows machines. Let's say here one is Mac machine, Linux machine, and Windows machine. Node can be anything, any OS. So you can launch any browser, but the code is from the hub. That is what. So if you want to, let's assume for example, if you have two machines. So one machine you can make it as hub and node, another machine you can make it as node. So that means two nodes and one hub. Okay. So now we'll see how to how to configure hub and nodes. So as per the Selenium documentation, this is how you have to do a setup. You have to download Selenium server standalone, whatever the latest file you have, and you just need to assign it as hub, role as hub. So it will behave it as a hub. And then once you started the hub, then you need to register the nodes from another machine. Machine 1 has a hub, and from another machine, you need to register that particular node to this hub. This is how you have to do. And these things you have to do it from the command prompt, because you have to download the Selenium service standalone and you need to put it in the hub machine as well as in node machines also. And then you have to register those things. So for that, actually we have a UI. Instead of doing from the command prompt, you can do all these things, registering, starting a hub and registering the nodes can be done by using a tool called VisGrid. Okay, this is the site. So this VisGrid, okay, and you have to download. Just fill these things. Just enter your email ID, and this will be downloaded. I'm telling you again, this VisGrid is a UI for Selenium Grid. So if you don't have the Selenium VisGrid, then what you have to do is, so this is the mechanism for uh, starting your hub. See here, this is how you have to do download the Selenium standalone server and register the hub. And again, hub configuration. Let's say what is your hub IP, max sessions, port number, and all those things you have to mention it in a JSON file, and you have to use this command in order to start your hub. And in the similar way, to register your node, you have to do this one. Yeah. So if it is a Chrome driver, you need to download chromedriver.exe and you need to register by using this command. And this JSON file you need to fill. So you should be careful and you need to give the path and everything. So this is very little bit tedious task and most error prone things. To avoid all those things, we can use this VisGrid, which the Selenium server and the required Chrome driver.exe or whatever the edge driver.exe, everything will be readily available in this one. So once you download it, you'll have this zip file here. So yeah, this VisGrid zip, you just unzip that one, and there is a executable VisGrid. So if you just double click on it, it will give you the UI for that. And if you see, it has all the options, whatever we saw in this. You see here, yeah, these are the options, right? Which we required in order to start our hub, like IP, max sessions, and all those things are available in the VI. This port number you can change, cleanup cycle, timeout, all these things can be configured. So in this, what I'm trying to do is I'm just starting the hub here. Click on the start. Okay, that's it. Your hub is started. And if you want to see whether hub is started or not, you can just say localhost colon 4444, because that is the port number which I have given. This is the port number which I have. By default, Selenium will start on port number this. If you want, you can change it. And this grid console. When I press enter, yeah, see here, if I'm seeing this particular thing, that means my grid is hub is started. Okay. Now I need to get the nodes. Hub is already there, and I need to have nodes. So this VisGrid creates there is an option create node. See here, if you just click on create node, it shows you on which browser node, on which browser you want to create on that particular node. Let's say I want to create Chrome, and okay, max instance is 5. So these are the other different configurations can be done for the browser. So we can leave them as default because default values are more than enough for us. And click on add. That's it. It will register that. If you see 5555 on with that node, and if I just refresh my browser, so just localhost 44 for grid console, you can see that as I gave you 5 instances so that it can launch maximum 5 browsers. That's what the restriction I have given. But we'll not do that. We'll just launch one browser only on one node. Okay, to keep a less load. If you give more load, again, the execution speed will affect based on that. Okay, so in a single machine, I have created a hub and node also in that machine. But I have another machine with me, so I want to make that as a node. Okay, so let me do this. I'll just go to that and try to remotely access that one. Okay. Okay, this is another machine which I have, and I already have VisGrid here. Okay, again, I downloaded and pasted it here, and here I need to. This is as I'm treating this as a node. I need to register to that particular hub. Okay, so I'll just start the hub, and this becomes. It's basically this is how to. If you want to register to the node, this is how you have to do. Create a node. So when I create node, what I'll do it for the Chrome browser, and again max instance is LG5. But the thing is, when I say add, what happens is it will become a node for this host. But I want to override the hub. See here, I have an option override hub. So I need to give the uh, IP of that particular machine where I made it as a hub. I'm giving different IP here. This is a normal 31 IP, but I'm giving this IP and a port number 4444. The moment I click add, so it should register to that particular hub. Okay, now it is registered. And if you want to see, go back to your hub machine. This is my hub machine. If I refresh this, okay, yes. So one node is available here and another node is available here. So now if I have two test cases, I need not to wait until one is finished. Let's say instead of sequentially, I can execute them in parallel because I have two machines. I created a hub and I have node 1 and node 2. I call this one as node 1 and this one as node 2. Okay. So that is a setup which is done. So whatever the things it is showing here in this post, which have Selenium documentation. So this is done for us. Okay. Now the real thing comes. Grid setup is done, but the coding is not yet done. So let me create a Maven project, and from there I'll try to write the code for running scripts the grid. Okay. For that, first let me create a Maven project. New, other. So since I'm creating a Maven project here. Okay. So that's your artifact ID. Let's say grid underscore BIS grid by name, and I'll just sample, and that is the finish. So it is going to create a Maven project for me. Okay, the Maven project is created. And if I go here, yeah, in the pom.xml file, I require two different jar files. One is JUnit and another one is testng. Let me go to MVN repository where I'll search for testng and Selenium server testng. This I'll take this 6.14.3. Test it here. and then I'll search for Selenium server as well. Okay, if you see this VSGrid is like 3.13, I saw it in console. So let me also put 3.13 here, Selenium server. Okay, I'll go to Selenium server. Okay, I'll take 3.13 this and paste it here. Save it. So it will automatically download the jar files related to testng and Selenium server. Okay, fine. Okay, this is throwing an error because I have deleted the unit jar file. So let me delete this. This is not required for me. Deleting this. And then now let me create one program. So let me create one testng class. Say testng. Let's say main underscore example. I'll select this before class and after class. Okay, this name I'll change. Uh, if you're already familiar with WebDriver programming, generally what we do is create a variable for this WebDriver driver, and it import a package related to that. And if you see in the before class, we used to write driver equal to new Chrome driver. But here, if you want to use Selenium Grid, then you need to use another class called desired capability. Okay? Desired capabilities. Desired capability, and I am just trying to create an object for that. So new desired capability. And here, one more thing is the browser. I'll not hard code the browser here because sometimes I'll run it in Chrome, sometimes I might run it in Firefox. So what we can do is this capability dot get browser, the browser name, the browser name. This browser name I want to read it from XML file, testng XML file. So for that, what I'll do is here in the before class, uh, on top of this before class, I use the parameters. Parameters, it is testng annotation. So take this parameters and this I'll browser to observe. That is the difference between normal WebDriver programming and this WebDriver grid program, grid setup. That is the only difference. There will be no difference in the logic, whatever you are writing, but only how you are starting your browser is different. Okay. And if you want to see which browser it is, I can just put out browser. Okay. And then so driver equal to generally I'll write driver equal to new Firefox driver Chrome driver. But now I have to use a remote web driver. Remote web driver. And it requires this and here's remote address. So new URL and the URL is basically so the HTTP colon / your local host and colon 4444. If you see, this is the IP where you see this one, see localhost 4444, where your Selenium server is started as a hub. So basically, I'm trying to give that URL only slash webdriver slash hub, and the capability is nothing but this one capability. Just need to give that capability. That's it. And I need to import a package related URL, the java.net, that is a package I need to import. it is going to throw an exception. I'll catch that exception. Okay, I'll make it as exception. That's it. These are the 3 lines of code or 4 lines of code you need to write in order to start execution from the grid. Okay, and in the implementation, as usual, you write driver dot get. And in the here I would like to just launch my URL driver dot get www.bing.com. Okay, let me go to that. Bing.com. I would like to type something in the text box. That it has an ID. I'll go with that. Driver dot find element by dot ID. So there is nothing different in the logic, whatever you are writing. Content is get setup. Just say get. And okay, that's it. My program is done. This is how I can write the programming. Only thing is difference is this is how you are starting your browser. So now what I'll do is I'll write one more program, so which will just navigate to some other site. So what I'll do is let me copy paste this program. Okay, I want to go to Google this time. Google. Okay, here instead of Bing, I'll just go to google.com. What is the ID for that? I would like to type in here. It has name. Okay, I'll go ahead with the name equal to Q here. Instead of IE, I'll just change name equal to. And here also, okay, let me search with Selenium grid. Yeah, Selenium grid. Something like this. I'll just search it here. Again, if you see, there is no difference in the parameters like before class and everything. If you just try to run it, no, it will not run. See, if I run as test in the test, it will not run because it requires a parameter here. So that is what it is going to show the error. See, parameter browser is required by before class and method not optional or denied. So it is saying because I just wanted to pass a parameter from the testing.xml. So let me close this. So now what I can do is I can create one XML file. Make this test.ng, convert to test.ng. Just finish. Yeah, this is the test.ng.xml. Let me increase the font for this. Editor. Text editor. Okay. Colors and fonts. Edit. As 14 or 16. Okay. Yeah. So what I'm trying to do here is, so I would like to execute my test cases in parallel now. So sweet name I'll say Selenium grid parallel. Whatever the name you want, you can give that. And instead of test, okay, let me restructure this one. Okay, sweet name, and here also here only I'll say parallel equal to classes and thread count. Basically, how many you want. Thread count by default it is in 5. Let it be. And I'll use test tag. So name of the test, Selenium. Okay. And here I need to pass the parameter because which browser I want to go, right? So you should make sure you give the same name as here, like here I have given browser. The same name I have to give it here, browser. And the value is Chrome. So whatever the value you have given, the same value will be taken and substituted here. So capability dot set browser name, this one. Okay. Right. So that's the parameter is done. And then now I need to write a file. Let's say I want to execute the test cases which are available in that package. The package name is sample. Okay, or else let me change my package name. I'll change them as VisGrid. But it will be a good name for that. VIS. I'm using VIS and I'm trying to run from the grid. Okay. VisGrid dot start the package. Again, just to be a great. Okay. Now, what I'm trying to tell to this particular Selenium is, so my value is Chrome and execute the test cases with classes in parallel. Parallel class. This is mandatory in order to execute the test cases in parallel. And thread count is like how many nodes you have. You can give that count, but by default it's game 5. That's fine. If you give more, thread count is also doesn't matter. Okay, let me try to run this one and see what happens. Okay, I'll clear these factors now. So I'm trying to run it. Right click, run as STNG suite. Okay, yeah. If you see the browser name is Chrome, browser name is Chrome, one browser is launched. Oh, okay. Yeah, it seems script execution is done because very fastly because I see two test cases are executed, two are passed, and you can see these the two test cases executed. But okay, let us take. Let me do one thing. I add some thread.slave so that you can see whether the browser is launched or not. So this is not required actually. I'm just adding this for your. You, if you want to see the browser, you can see that exception. I'll add the same thread.slave in another class as well. I have a Google example here. Exception. Okay. Clean up the code. Control. Okay. So now I just wanted to see that as well. Whether execution is happening on the another machine or not. So what I'll do is I'll just do a remote to another machine. Okay, this is another machine where this is node 2. So if you see here, VSGrid is there and node is already added to this. Let me do one thing now. Okay, again, make sure you are running the testing.xml file and you are giving parallel equal to classes. So whatever the classes you have, all these things will be executed in parallel. And the browser value you have given it as Chrome. So let me run this. So right click on this, run as testng suite. And yeah, if you see browser name is Chrome and one browser is launched here, another browser is launched here. Yeah. So here Bing is executing and this here Google is executing in another machine. You can see that. So both are executed parallelly. And if you see both are executed and closed at the same time, almost at the same time. This is how your execution happened in parallel. And you can see that executed in parallel two tests. This is how to execute your test cases in parallel by using Selenium grid. And this VIS grid is a UI for starting your hub and registering the nodes to the hub. If you don't have this particular UI, then again what you have to do is you have to do them manually. And so now let me just enhance this one. If I want to execute my test cases in Firefox, then what I have to do? Again, just open your VisGrid and click on the create node. And here now don't select Chrome, select Firefox. Okay, and click add. Now one more instance will be added to this. Let me go ahead and see in the grid console. Yeah, this is the grid console. If I run it, yeah, see here, one more is added here with Firefox instances. And in the similar way, I'll go to this machine, node 1, another node, basically creating a node, and this Firefox. But the only thing I need to do is override this hub. 152.168. This is the IP of that hub, and the port number is right. And it is registered. And if you want to just check, yeah, run it. Yeah, see here, it is already registered here. Okay. And if you want to see what instance it is, whether it is taking Chrome instance or not, yes, that can be done. So let me show you. So again, I'm trying to run it on Chrome browser. Script should run in parallel. So right click, run as test. You see it. The moment it launches the Chrome, see what happens. So in the local host, if I see in the grid console, and you can see these two browsers are faded, right? That means these two are in use now. These two instances are in use now. So that is the meaning of that. Once the test execution is done, see now it is executing, right? But once the execution is done, now if I just refresh this one, see now all these are available. So in this way also you can see on which machines script is executing or not. So that is also can be done by using this grid console logo. So this is a normal, this is how the grid work. Okay. So but I'll just repeat, the main thing is how you are starting your browser. That is a one big difference between Selenium WebDriver program and grid setup. So you need to use the desired capabilities and for the setting of the browsers, and in order to instantiate the driver or creating an object will be done by using the remote WebDriver, and you need to give the local host. And 4444 is the port number by default port number. That is where your Selenium is started. And now if you want to stop your hub, I don't want this Firefox hub. So I'll just click on stop. And again, I'll just go to this machine. I don't want this hub. I'll just click on the stop. So this is pretty much easy if you are using the VisGrid. If you are not using VisGrid and if you are doing it from the command prompt, that is a bit tedious, and as I told you, it is like error prone, more error prone thing. So now these two will not be displayed to us. Only these two nodes will be available to us because I just stopped that. Let me take some time to update, but yeah, you can see that it says fail to connect, but these two are connected. Okay, these two are failed to connect, these two are connected because I stopped these two. So this is how to execute your scripts using Selenium Grid. So information will be provided, the links whatever I have referred will be provided in the description. You can go through that for more information.